I'm running because we need people. We need a movement, and we've been organizing here in New Jersey, building the movement. Before COVID hit, our campaign was knocking on 1,000 doors a weekend. So I guess really, I want to get a little personal. I'm a father, and I'm really son that I would do anything to protect him and his future. The climate crisis is the greatest threat to my son's life, all of our lives, our future on this planet, and especially our homes here at the Jersey Shore. My son's turning 3 in June. He needs me to fight for a Green New Deal to save our planet and everything that we love. This district is about 37 miles of coast touching the Atlantic Ocean and the Raritan Bay, and we desperately need a Green New Deal because by 2035, Zillow and the Union of Concerned Scientists has predicted hundreds of thousands of homes to have bi-weekly flooding. How can we be the greatest country in the world if we're underwater? And I'm turning 33 years old on Monday, April 20th, and us millennials, we have a bad rap for upending trends. So the next trend that we're going to end is this corporate dominance of politics. That's why I've chosen to say no to all lobbyist money, because I'm all grassroots funded by the people. I firmly believe it's either the people or the money, and I choose the people. For the past 4.5 years, I've been a government attorney for New York State, and I work for the Division of Homes and Community Renewal. I protect rent stabilization laws in New York, and I made sure that they apply to everyone. This provides affordable and stable housing for 1.5 million apartments in New York City and New York State. I even drafted a law in 2019. It passed. It protects 200,000 seniors and low-income people that live in manufactured homes, gives them new rights, and protects their housing and their rights. Because I believe that housing is a human right for all, and no one should be homeless ever. In our district, there are 42,000 people that have no health insurance. We pay the 5th highest in the country for our health insurance. Now, more than ever with COVID, in this time of global pandemic, we need Medicare for all. Medicare for all is factually the correct way to deal with health insurance. On day 1, I will co-sponsor and sign the Medicare for All bill, and there will be one more vote for it in Congress. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. My primary is July 7th, and honestly, it's one of the most important primaries left. You can support my campaign by going to Russ for Us 2020, RUSSFORUS2020.com. You could sign up to volunteer. Next week, we're doing nightly phone bankings going up to the election. And if you have the capacity, if you could chip in a few bucks, honestly, our average donation right now is $24.75. Also, if you could help us out on social media, I really appreciate it. On Twitter, it's Russ for Us 2020. On Facebook and Instagram. And once again, my name is Russ Cirincione. I'm running for Congress in New Jersey. Remember, friends, this is not a moment. This is not about one candidate. This is the movement for economic, social, racial, environmental justice. And we're in this for the long haul. Solidarity forever. Thanks. Have a great one. Enjoy the music.
That was Russ Cirincione, and to find out more how you can donate to his campaign and volunteer, go to russforus2020.com or musiciansforbernie.com/donate.
We are not a poor nation. If we were a poor nation, we would take a different perspective on this. Anybody who works 40 hours a week should earn at least, not the $15 a lot of money, but at least $15 an hour.
Vote for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. I'm talking about your basic human rights.
Right.
I said the bare necessities, so all of us can rest at ease with Sanders' bare necessities of life, public education, and living wages, healthcare.
Christ.
I said the bare necessities, so all of us can rest at ease with Sanders' bare necessities of life.
That video was by the Burnett's from Berkeley, California. If you're interested in participating in the next Musicians for Bernie concert, go to musiciansforbernie.com and fill out the sign-up form as well as the playlist submission form for your music to be considered. Up next, live from Memphis, Tennessee, we have Diving Station 95. He will be accepting tips via PayPal.
You want me to leave the call on? Okay, I think I'm live. Now, one last time, I'll try to say goodbye to a life I cared for, some stolen lie, at night. In some way or another, though I never knew you like I wanted to, I love you and your dreams denied at night. Your body weighs you down. That thing in the casket isn't you. It's just a skin you shed when you leave. And somewhere far away, I hope you're breathing. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. If you're watching this, I sure hope this is airing. come back home. There's nothing wrong, nothing right. I'm inside on my own and breaking down in broad daylight. Nothing helps anymore. I've been fucking up for my whole life.
My life is only dead.
Even when it was unpopular. And it's this is, we live in a very strange time, and it is incredibly inspiring to see someone who is not afraid to say, this is, right and wrong are still real things, and you can do the right thing. And it reminds me to be less selfish and to do the right thing and to think more of others. And he's just done so much good already, even though he didn't get the presidency. Like, he's a generational hero. He's, the number of people he's inspired is tremendous. I mean, like, the down ballot candidates who this is in benefit for, like, he's held rally. I mean, we're doing this because of Bernie. And now people will know who those candidates are, and they'll vote for them, and maybe they'll win. And it's just incredibly inspiring. And I am grateful to him for all that he's done to help us. And, the fight goes on, I guess. Anyway. Time for another big downer of a song. Last night I I dreamed that you were dead, and I visited your family's house. I don't think they knew I was there. It hit me hard that you were gone, as though I'd known it for a long time. Couldn't say the words. If there's a place in hell for you, then I'll be there if you'd have me. We can go down to the bottom together. Don't you want someone to help you out? Don't you want me when it's over? More than anything, I'll be allowed. Hold you until I don't know if it's real.
Don't know if that's right.
Don't you want someone to keep you out? Won't you tell me when it's over? More than anything, I need you now. I will see you when I'm out of here.
Don't know if that's right.
Okay, so we're reaching the end. We're getting close to the end, I think. This next song is something that isn't quite finished yet, but I wanted to play it anyway because I started writing it about after the, well, it's not just about that, but the general mood after the campaign was suspended and sort of uncertainty and trying to find hope anyway, and I hope it's good. All you can really hope for, I guess. To the end of it, hold your light to mine now. Night now, and all I find is blindsided till I can't lie. Oh, I can't find hope, but baby, I'm trying. Na, na, na. Na, 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 na. If you're frightened, so am I. Oh, now, I got to hope, and baby, I'm trying. Na, na, na. Na, 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 na. All right, I have one more song. I hope this was good. I really can't tell, obviously, whether it was any good or not, because I'm not listening to this from you guys' perspective. But I really appreciate you listening anyway. I really appreciate this opportunity. I don't get the chance to do this often. I've just started doing these. So this song is called Black Lodge.
Extracted from
if I'm still going, I think I'm still going. I think I'm still on the air. Thank you so much to everyone who listened. Thank you to Christine and everybody for letting me have this opportunity. Yeah, the fight continues. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hi everyone at Musicians for Bernie. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk to you today, even if it's through video. My name is Kimberly Graham. I'm running for United States Senate for the great state of Iowa. And thank you for putting on the events that you have put on, that you're still putting on to support progressive candidates all over the country. We need your support and we're super grateful for it. So I'm running for United States Senate. And I'll tell you a little bit about why I'm running and what I hope to accomplish as the next junior senator from the state of Iowa. I'm running because for the last 20 years, I've been a mom to a now 20-year-old son, Max, and for those same 20 years, I've been an attorney for abused or neglected kids and for parents in the juvenile courts. What I've learned in the last 20 years of representing kids and parents in court is that, among other things, is that we don't do a very good job of investing in children and families in the United States. Most developed nations spend between 2 and 3% of their GDP on programs for children and families, and the United States spends 0.6% of its GDP. Now, there's that old saying, if you want to know someone's values, show me their checkbook. The United States is not showing through where it spends its money what it really values. And so we need to dramatically shift that and make investments in children and families. So I'm running because after the 2016 elections, like so many people, I was very disgusted and disappointed and saddened and shocked by who was going to become the president of the United States. And most of you who are parents who are watching this message will understand what I'm about to say. I would do anything to save my son, including running for United States Senate. And that may sound hyperbolic, but when we're not really taking any significant action on the climate crisis, and when my son and your kids and your grandkids may not have a habitable place to live in 20 or 30 years, or you, if you're my son's age, that's incredibly important. So we need to make a lot of changes. And I realized after the 2016 election that if we did not step up to represent us, then we get what we get. So I decided to run for United States Senate because we need more progressives in the United States Senate. And, it's not an easy road when you don't take corporate PAC money and you don't take corporate lobbyist money, and we don't. It's difficult and challenging to raise the amount of money necessary to run a United States Senate campaign, but we gotta try. And in spite of not raising millions and millions of dollars, we've raised enough to have 5 full-time staffers and to do some things that we need to do. But in spite of not taking corporate money, we recently won a Des Moines Register Mediacom poll of the 5 Democrats who are running for this seat. And of those 5 Democrats who are running for the United States Senate seat in Iowa, I am the only one who is for Medicare for all or universal single-payer healthcare system. And any of you who are watching this, I'm sure that is one of your top issues. It certainly is for me. There is absolutely no way in the world that anyone should die from rationing insulin in the United States of America. We actually have an epidemic of 26-year-olds dying in the United States of America from rationing insulin because they come off their parents' health insurance at 26 and can't afford health insurance. So that's something we need to change. What I tell people is that health insurance and healthcare in the United States should work just like a public library. We have all decided at some point that it's worth investing in public libraries, and so we all invest and pay for public libraries. We pay for the books, we pay for the librarian, we pay for the building. And when you walk into a library, you hand them your library card and you take out a book, and you never get a bill, you never hand them your debit card, you never get a bill in the mail, right? That's how healthcare should work. We should all agree it's important and valuable. We should all fund it together in a universal plan. And then when you go to get care at the doctor or hospital. You give them your health care card, you get your care, and you walk out, hopefully healthy. And you never get a bill, and you never hand them a debit card. So we need to join the rest of the world in considering healthcare as a fundamental human right. Human rights are not for sale. Human rights are not commodities to be bought and sold and marketed. So for those who are saying healthcare is a human right, but they still want to have a public option, or they still want to have the system as is, or fix the ACA, I would just answer, no, we don't pay for human rights. What you're talking about is something, but whatever it is not a human right. So we have a lot of work to do. I would love to have your help with our campaign in any way that you can offer us help. You can find out more at kimberlyforiowa.com, KIMBERLYFOR, Iowa.com. And I would just like to leave you with this. If you're feeling despair and sad because of Senator Sanders suspending his campaign, I would remind you of something that Senator Sanders says a lot. And that is this. He quotes Nelson Mandela, who said, "It always seems impossible until it is done." We have a lot of progressive candidates across this country running for U.S. Senate and for Congress and for City Council and for County Board of Supervisors and for state legislatures. Please find some candidates to get behind and work hard for them, because a lot of them are going to win. And then the next time we have elections, more of them are going to win. And that's just going to keep happening until we actually get to that more perfect union that we have always been striving toward and never quite have achieved. And it's always going to be a work in progress. But we can do so much better in the wealthiest nation on earth. Frederick Douglass said, power concedes nothing. Power concedes nothing without a demand. It never has, and it never will. By running for United States Senate, that is my demand at the moment, for power to concede and for the people to be represented. We need to be representing us. So thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. And I want to thank you again, Musicians for Bernie, for everything that you're doing. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Bye.
That was Kimberly Graham from Iowa, and she is running for the U.S. Senate. You can find out more about how to volunteer for her campaign at kimberlyforiowa.com or musiciansforbernie.com/donate.
Struggle, yes, I'm mining. Some things are hard to find, and I found something. We're on the same page, living a different story. You complete me, no longer empty. The glass is full. You came to me like a walk in the park. We could do whatever we want. Good friends are hard to find. 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 And you're looking at me and I'm looking at you. I like the way we sing the blues. I'm not islands. I look at your back and I look at your past. No longer vulnerable. I've got a good friend. You came to me like a walk in the park. We could do whatever we want. Good friends are hard to find. 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 You came to me when I was alone. You make me feel at home. Good friends are hard to find. Good friends are hard to find. struggle. Yes, I'm learning. Some things are hard to find, and I found you.
That was the music video for A Day Without Love song, Good Friends Are Hard to Find. He is from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Coming at you live from Asheville, North Carolina is Lavender Blue. She is accepting digital concert tips via PayPal and Venmo.
Hey y'all, this is Lavender Blue coming at you from Asheville, North Carolina. Gonna play some tunes for you. Hope you're having a good night. Sneak around Cactus Coal Mountains, Rockslide, could you grab me by the arm if I tripped and fell? Circles round the mines, graffiti reads, give me metal or give me death. Sink into the mud and pull me up again. Circles round the mines, give me a piece of your heart. I need the Orion stars. The poison runs deep, singing in a dose in our sleep. Savor the sunburn and sour water. I can feel your pain, let me hold it for a while. Circles round the mines, give me a piece of your heart. I need the Orion stars. The poison runs deep, singing in a dose in our sleep. Circles round the mine. The song was called Give Me Metal or Give Me Death. You can find it on the Spotify or wherever you stream your music. This next one is about dogs. So if you're a dog and you're watching, the song is for you. Walking in the park, you're always giving me a head start. I'll be your best friend. Give you all my love and affection. I'll be your dog. Come when you call. I'll be your dog. Waiting by the window for you to come home. I'll sit, I'll stay. You command and I'll obey. I've got your number around my neck. Got a GPS tracker in my left hip. You couldn't lose me if you tried. I'll be your dog. Come when you call. I'll be your dog. Waiting by the window for you to come home. I'm begging for your table scraps. I'm tearing apart your new shoes. I'm tracking mud onto the couch. You're calling me bad news. You're calling me a bad, bad girl. You're calling me a bad, bad girl. I'll be your dog. Come when you call. I'll be your dog. Waiting by the window for you to come home. That one's also on the streaming services. I'm going to switch guitars real quick. I'm excited to play a new song for you. Unreleased, unrecorded. Though I will be missing my sweet band. So, if they're watching, the song is for them, because they make it great for me. It's called Lost. Last night I swallowed gasoline. Thought the clear liquid could cure me of these twisted dreams. I don't always say what I mean when I speak. The words get caught behind my front teeth. I could really use a cleaning. I get lost and I lose lose track of my body. I get lost. I get lost and I lose track of my body. I get lost. I get on the off-ramp heading south. I'm in my hometown, but I don't know my way around. Baltimore, I used to sleep in your harbor. I get lost and I lose track of my body. I get lost. I get lost and I lose track of my body. I get lost. I can't tell if I'm inside or out. Can't seem to slow down. I'm a wheel making endless rounds. I get lost and I lose track of my body. I get lost. I get lost and I lose track of my body. I get lost. I get lost. I get lost. Okay, I'm gonna switch back and I'm gonna try to talk while I do it. So it's been really hard for me to figure out how to talk about my Bernie story because it's just it's got so many layers. I think the first that I heard about Bernie and what really inspired me to kind of follow his path is his stance on healthcare for all. I'm a person living with a chronic illness, so for me, I have to have healthcare in order to receive my medication. It's a very expensive medication. In turn, it makes me immunosuppressed, so I also am more likely to get sick than your average person. And I can't imagine if I didn't have the support system of my friends and my family like I do. If I needed to, if I fell ill or I hurt myself and I couldn't, receive any kind of access to healthcare, which, in so many countries is a basic right. And I definitely identify with that. Also, it's the closest a Jewish person has ever gotten to being president, so I'm pretty stoked about that too. And I think the last thing is Bernie's focus on environmental impact and helping us to kind of at least see that if we don't change in that way, we can't expect to live much longer in the earth the way it is anyway. We're just damaging our poor Mother Earth. So that being said, I will stop rambling, and this is another new song. It's called House on a Highway. It's kind of about love, I guess. Thanks again for watching. Hope you're having a good night. If you're cold, I'll be your blanket. If you're sick, I'll be your medicine. House on a highway, sing to me all day. You're like a good book right from the start. Mystery I can't get enough of. House on a highway, sing to me all day. I was a deer in your headlights. You took me by surprise when I crossed that double line. I saw life passing by. If we grow old and lose our minds, I'll hold your hand, even if you don't know it's mine. If you can't sleep, I'll be your lullaby. House on a to me all day. Alright, y'all, I got a tune, but I got one more for you. And then I cannot remember the artist who's next, but I will turn it over to them. Thanks again to the Bernie folk for asking me to play. I'm really excited to be a part of this. Just if anybody was wondering, you know, how are we doing Musicians for Bernie? If we know that Bernie has dropped out of the presidential race, he will be putting his efforts into helping grassroots campaigns to create change on a local level, because that is where we will begin to see the most change in our societies. So, I mean, that's really cool, and that's really, you know, the change you can see. I think that's an ad for something, so I apologize. Anyway, this last one is called Jellyfish. You can also find it on the streaming services. Yeah. Have a good rest of your quarantine, whatever that means to you. Hiding behind mirrors, can you see past me? Hands reaching inside my hollow chest cavity, pulling out the weeds, pulling out the weeds. Skeleton sheds its skin, empty sockets blinking. We're all fossilized and in decay, in decay. Day part the sea for night, wanna bathe in low tide. Jellyfish sting, can you feel me from inside? Feel me from inside. Feel me from inside. Feel me from inside. Washed down temple, salmon swimming up the veins of my lost mind. We're tourists passing through this life, through this life. They part the sea for night, jellyfish sting? Can you feel me from inside? Feel me from inside. 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 That's it for me. Y'all have a good night.
And I am running as a delegate for Bernie Sanders. And I'm running in District PA 11. And I hope that if you are in my district that you will consider voting for me. Or any of the Bernie delegates. If you're not in this area, you can vote for a delegate near you. And of course, vote for Bernie this primary and progressive candidates. PA House is up, Senate's up. We have very important candidates, or not candidates, but the offices that impact us in a major way are up for election, and you get to pick which candidates speak to you. I'm looking at candidates that are, more progressive, very much like a Bernocrat, because that's what I call myself, a Bernocrat. Not just not candidates that aren't treating it as business as usual, but that believe in advocating and making a difference and being held accountable, that understand that it's about being in service to the community and not that the community serves you, right? So yeah, we have a very important races, and so you can vote at home. I requested a ballot. I went to vote.org, vote.org, and it took me to pavoterservices.org, I believe is the website, and I just filled out some basic information, my name, my address, and all of that, and requested a ballot. So you can do a mail-in ballot. You can print it out and, your request and vote safely at home. So I hope that you will join me in voting. I want to say thank you to Bernie and to his campaign and supporters for running 2 really great campaigns. I think it set an example, a new precedent on the issues of the people, and to take a stand to say that, candidates are not for sale. They should not be for sale. And if they are, they need to go, right? So Bernie was the first candidate that did that talked about the Wall Street and how a lot of candidates are bought by them, and he's not about that. And so I respect him and admire him and inspired by him, really. So I hope that many of you will join me in voting for him as a thank you, and to send a message, right, to the candidates and to the establishment, to Wall Street, that we're not going backwards, we are moving forward. It is about the people, it is about the community, and we deserve healthcare. Healthcare is a human right. We need to address income inequality and racial justice and a wide array of issues concerning the environment. We need to act now. We need leaders that understand it and are ready to do the work. So please vote. Please do that as soon as possible. You don't have a lot of time to vote. So you want to request that as soon as possible so it's not being processed late and whatnot. A little bit about me is I am a volunteer, and I currently volunteer at the library. I teach knitting, and I help with their bookstore that raises a lot of money that keeps the library open. But I've always been a volunteer since I was a little girl, volunteering in the community, in school, for the Red Cross, and all of these different organizations and whatnot. And that in itself, I think, really is true to me. It's very part of who I am. My mom also just a primary example of who I want to be, and just such a strong woman, like the original Wonder Woman, you know what I mean? Holding it down, taking care of me and my siblings on her own, working as a laborer, harder than any man, and bringing home like nothing. You know what I mean? It was inspiring and yet so disheartening to see her go through that and go through these struggles. But she instilled in us work ethic and to persevere against the hardest of challenges and adversity. So I'm very thankful and grateful to her. And you know, I had a goal of going to college. I got a full scholarship and went to Millersville. Very unique for somebody, you know, in my area to have that opportunity. I didn't know how I was going to go, but I knew I needed to, and money was definitely a factor. So getting a scholarship, working really hard in school was huge. It was great. And things were, you know, looked pretty good. Except that when I was in school, I got really sick. And at the time, I was working a few jobs and going to school full time, still volunteering for a number of agencies, and mentoring and doing all of these different things. And I got really sick. I had a tumor at the base of my brain. It took a long time to diagnose. My doctors thought I was faking it. I was definitely treated differently being a woman and being a woman of color. And I had a harsh reality to what I think like it was like to be in, you know, our system here in the United States. I didn't know that people went through stuff like that. It just wasn't something that was really talked about. And here I am at the mercy of insurance companies, at what my local representatives decide, and I have no way of advocating for myself. And so, you know, I in total had 3 tumors, and the last one was hemorrhaging. Very, 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 very painful, like eating grenades and being hit in the head relentlessly. Pain never stopped. It was one of the hardest things to experience in my life, in my young life. And I needed help getting dressed. I needed help brushing my hair and doing all of these basic things that, you know, I think when you're healthy, you take for granted, and, you know, you don't think twice about it. So I had an experience where my insurance dropped me the day of my operation, my first operation. And that was really challenging because I didn't know that you could do that. And instead of thinking about, you know, the operation and, you know, praying about it and being in the moment with my mom and, you know, not sure if I would make it. You know, I lost a lot of weight. I was up to 20 something pills a day, very expensive. You know, I was already thinking about money already, and had been thinking about that. You know, wasn't able to pay some bills in order to buy my medication. And so, but paying for surgery is a whole new level of debt, a whole new burden to take on. And I don't believe that anybody should be in that situation ever. You should never have to think twice. Do you have an operation or take on debt? You know what I mean? Like, it's healthcare is a human right. I don't care what anybody says. Healthcare is a human right, and we, you know, we could save a lot of lives. We could prevent a lot of illnesses if that was something that the United States enacted here. You know, I'm half Cuban. Cuba has healthcare and education, so it's very doable. A lot of countries have these things that we don't. And you know, I got stereotyped a lot. I got judged a lot. It was assumed that, oh, I don't look sick, so I must not be sick. Just a lot of challenging moments, experiences. But throughout all of that, I found a way to use my voice and exercise my voice. Now, I've always voted. I tried to vote when I was 12. Couldn't, obviously, but I always wanted to participate and let my voice be heard in that respect. But there are other ways too that you can own your space, own your voice, and that's getting involved. You can run. After getting involved with the campaign, with Bernie's campaign, speaking, volunteering, canvassing, knocking on doors, talking to people on the phone, I was able to use my experience, and even dealing with chronic illness, able to find ways to lend a hand. And you can too. You can get involved. You can run. You know, if it wasn't for Bernie, I also would not have thought to even join a committee. I'm the first committee person to represent my precinct. And, you know, I think it's so important to find avenues to advocate for yourself and advocate for your community. However way that looks, you know what I mean? That could be volunteering, that could be running, that could be organizing house parties, you know, well, not now with this quarantine, but maybe you could do a video house party, you know? We've got to get creative. So, but there's different ways that you can get involved in the process, and you don't need 8 degrees to get involved. I don't have a political background. My background is in volunteering and, you know, theater and film, you know, the arts. So but I had a desire to advocate and to use my pain to help other people, and you can do that too. So I hope that you will be encouraged to get involved in the process somehow, that you'll, you know, share your story and encourage somebody else along the way to hang in there. I'm telling you, with all of this, I've had 2 fires, 3 brain tumors, just a lot of challenging experiences, but you can use that for good. You can use that to connect with people, to speak up on issues, to say, hey, this is my experience, and this is why this is why I care about these things. So we've got to do something. We've got to get together and make a change, make a difference, and not allow ourselves to be discouraged and you know, be silent. So however the way that looks, if politics, you know, it does impact you, But if you see yourself running or something, I mean, there's so many different ways to get involved and just talking to people, talking to everyday people. That is true politics. I think it's not this whole Game of Thrones who will win the seat thing. It's about connecting with everyday people and striving for better and letting people know that they're that you're somebody that can be counted on. And so thank you so much for taking time to do that, to get involved and voting and for hearing me out. And thank you to Musicians for Bernie for creating this platform for musicians and people like me to talk about our concerns and and whatnot. So I am so appreciative, and thank you, and good luck. Hang in there. I know it's a challenging time, but hang in there. This too shall pass. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.
That was Nellie Torres, and she is running as a Bernie delegate in Pennsylvania. If you want to request an absentee or mail-in ballot in Pennsylvania, go to votespa.com.
Don't ask me to fly and cut off my wings. Don't tell me to wait to see what tomorrow brings. You're looking for a reason, looking for a rhyme, looking for a miracle, but miracles take time. Just like I said they would. She never was here, she never will be. She's a crazy mother, she's gotta be free. You're gonna beg, 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 beg. She won't care. Get off the ground, up in the air. Don't build me up to bring me down. I want you now. You're not around, and you were lost, and you won't found. I won't believe in you. I still believe. How many times we make the same mistakes? I'm out of breath, I need a break. She's one man's paradise, another man's hell. There ain't no cure against a spell. She was always here, she'll always be. She's a silver ghost lover, she's history. You're gonna think till you have to say. That's how it goes. You can complain. Don't build me up to bring me down. I want you now. You're not around, and you're lost, and you won't found. I won't believe in you. I still believe. Don't build me up to bring me down. I want you now. You're not around, and you're lost, and you won't found. I won't believe in you. I still believe. Don't build me up to bring me down. I want you now. You're not around, and you're lost, and you won't find. I won't believe in you. I'll never leave.
That was the music video for Invasion by Anana Kay. She is based in Nashville, Tennessee, and yesterday was her birthday, so happy birthday, Anana. We'd also like to wish a happy birthday to Raymond Braun, one of the tech guys from Political Revolution, who has helped so much with the Musicians for Bernie concerts. Up next, we'll be hearing from Brian Abrahamson, who is running in Minnesota.
Good evening. My name is Brian Abrahamson. I'm running for Minnesota State Senate in District 22. I'm running because it's imperative at this time that we have more progressives running on the down ballot. We need progressives at every level of government, and I ran back in 2016 because of Bernie Sanders. He inspired me to run, not only because of his compassion, his spirit, but also his platform. It's a platform that I can get behind. It's a platform that I can fight for. A livable wage, Medicare for all, tuition-free education, and of course, a Green New Deal. It's needed now more than ever. All those things. And I will fight. I will fight hard in Minnesota. I will go around. I will write the damn bill. I will do everything I can to push Bernie's message, to push his vision. Because, like I said, it is needed now more than ever. What we also need you to do is continue to vote for Bernie Sanders in the primaries coming up. We need delegates so we can go to the convention and get on committees and stuff and write the rules. And hopefully we can write out superdelegates. Does that sound a good idea? I think. What we also need you to do, what I would love to ask you to do, is to support not only myself, but other Berniecrats that are on the down ballot. Like I said, it is important to support us, not only with contributions, but with time. We need your time. Time is valuable. I understand that. And hopefully the payoff is to get us elected. So we can, like I said, write bills that push a progressive message. So please join me, Bernie, and others, and let's get out there. Let's get out there and vote. Let's get out there and talk about what we really need to talk about, which is, like I said, Medicare for all, tuition-free education, Green New Deal. Sound like a plan? I think so. Thank you so much for your time. Like I said, my name is Brian Abramson. I'm running for Minnesota State Senate in District 22. Thank you, and have a great night.
Come, my brother, won't you join us? Come, my sister, won't you join us? Come, all good people, won't you join us? As truth goes marching on.
I'm Kimberly Graham, and I approve this message.
Up next, streaming live from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, is To Be Frank. He just released a single called Hell House, and it is on a limited physical compilation called Self Quarantine, in which all proceeds go toward feeding America's COVID-19 relief fund. He is accepting digital concert tips via Venmo. Live from Philly, here is To Be Frank.
I've seen all them tin cans beached on the pavement, want to see progress, their lazy movement, losing religion, finding our guts dead, kills all your spirits. You wanna join them, but that time is not now, and it's not cool to die. You always ask how, when, nowhere, never why. Never ask why. Never ask why. You never ask why. This is Al's house, you sleeping in. Hot coals and cold men. This is God's cup, you steeping in. You jumped off to the deep end. They're not gonna eat me. I sure am a mouthful. Starving is humane, but at least you don't get near full. Guts eat themselves out. You wanna be them. Get off or get out. Mortal BDSM. Now engines and constants that bleed you till you're dry. But liquid is liquid, and they suck out our mind. They suck out our mind. They suck out our mind. I'm dry hung high. This is Al's house, you sleeping in. Hot coals and cold men. It's too bad you're not peering in. Each of the windows been broken in. He's a God complex castaway, lost in divine. But money speaks volumes, and he steals all mine. He steals all mine. He steals all mine. If you wanna die today, 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 wanna die today.
Thank you very much. We have a couple more songs in store for you here. This is called To Be Frank. This is Georgie over here, and him's Joshy. And so, here we go. Oh yeah. Cool.
He wants enough steel to brandish a knife, to tell all the kids to value their life. Don't touch the ceiling, don't touch anything. And if the paint is yellow, you where are you going? We just began. And if I want to have you in bed on beside you,
Thank you. I'm just gonna make sure that this isn't them telling me that that my audio is terrible or something. Make sure. Is that all from? It's from Iowa, and I missed it. Does that mean that I have bad audio?
It's the number?
Yeah, I think so. Hold up. Whoops. Hello? Oh, I'm back. Hey, what's up? I'm back. Did you miss the first song or the second song? Because I can just play it again. Cool. We got one more for you here. This one's called The News. Cool. Thank you.
It's 10 o'clock in the evening. It's blown away again. Everybody's bleeding. Looks like no one's helping them. But we don't care. 'Cause we're not there. It's 10 o'clock in the evening. Let's see who is keeping cool. Got a lot of money. I'll bet you sleep easy too. By the way, what do you wear? Already 10:30. Seems like so much time has. Watch the news like a good boy. And I didn't even have to see no facts. Don't be. They weren't there. Don't be aware. Or you're a square. Now I've been boxing, serving, paving, busting. Ass just fails my day. Working 4 weeks for 60 hours. Get a decent pay. I turn on the squawk box and somebody points a finger and tells me they are to blame. Then 7 more people pointing 7 directions on the my insane. I make my decisions. Boy,
Thank you very much. I know what sometimes, because, aren't we all a little vain? That song was called The News. It's a song that I wrote a long time ago, and unfortunately it gets a little bit more poignant every day. So, this project, once again, is called To Be Frank. This is Caroline. My name is Josh. And I was really excited to play this event. And I'm still really psyched to be doing it right now. And then, last week, obviously, Bernie threw in the towel for this exact candidacy, which giving up or something like that, in which I respond. I know we already had one quote from Frederick Douglass, and I'm going to butcher it a lot worse than our friend did earlier, but I believe Douglass said, someone who is able to stop the spread of slavery is doing the best that they can to halt it altogether. And that's very important to keep in mind going forward in this next election. And I don't know exactly what that means, and I leave that to who are, insiders, I suppose, or have a little bit more info. But I think it's really important right now that we make sure that at the very least we stop blatant wage slavery and insider trading amongst politicians and Wall Street. I think, it sounds like a broken record from everybody, but, I think it's important to keep in mind. So that is my general spiel. I was really glad to hear from my friend Nellie. She's fantastic. And a great person, really good heart. So, really pleased to be able to thank Bernie for his work over this past year and over the past 40 years. It's been somebody who's really, stood ever since about 2014, when, a lot of this, the big game started coming in here, where, there's just we've got some issues that we got to work out. So I am strongly suggesting that all folks who are able to, for one, you can still register to vote in primaries. It's not a completely lost cause. Everybody keeps on trying, like it's this kind of, like it's this thing that you can just, pretend that, you don't need to do anything anymore. But the work's not over. There are down ballot candidates for different offices all over the country that really need, and they need you to do your research on them if you haven't been spoon-fed them like you are so many other candidates. That's not in people with lots of money's interest. For you to vote for progressive candidates that are for the people. So, anyway, it's my I could rant and rave for a long time. I'm a little bit less eloquent than a lot of these fantastic people running for office and things, but you know, I do. It's you know, just very important for us to not lose any of this momentum. It's what you know, a lot of that song "Hell House" that I just put out is about, and not losing our steam, because just on the coals doesn't mean that the burn isn't there. So you know, it's very important to keep that in mind. So let's see. Speaking of which, I put out a song called Hell House. I did talk about that. If you are a Bernie supporter of any capacity, as far as his donation base, send me your, you know, if you have a screenshot of your receipt, or if you have some kind of proof of your receipt, you can send it to me at To Be Frank, TUB Frank. And if you send us, you know, you can send us a tobefrank@gmail.com, or if you get a hold of us on any social medias or anything like that, and you have any proof that you have donated, just like send it to me, or to any kind of organ fighting the COVID-19 virus and the economic fallout that's followed it. If you have any kind of donations that you've given to anybody who's doing much better, you know, work than we are in our basement, I can humbly say. But, you know, if you've donated to anything like that, you get these two songs that are coming out. We played both of them for you tonight for free. They don't sound exactly like this. They sound a little different. But yeah, well, you know, hey, you know, I'm not, no, don't. Yeah, and keep your eye on all these progressive people that are working and doing great work. You know, there's only so many of them. So, you know, some stuff to keep in mind. I'm going to play one more for you, I think, if I'm allowed to. I'm going to play... Yeah, I'll play one more for you here. This song, Tired to Cry. You can come back and sing with me if you want. Okay. Yeah, sure, why not? Now we're having a good time. This wasn't planned. Alright, so I play at a bar called Dawson Street Pub a lot, and that place is closed down right now. At least they might be doing takeout, and you should look into it, and I don't know, because I don't live in Manayunk. But anyway, so this is called Too Tired to Cry, and this is the song I always like to cap my night off with over there. The day is done, so go home and worry. This life's been off the die. Gotta get it off my chest before I close my eyelids. But I'm just too tired to cry, 'cause I'm just too tired to cry. The junkies have all put away their prescriptions, and the fat cats have all loosened their ties. But I bleed and sweat all day for you to shame my feverish ways. So I'm too tired to cry, 'cause I'm just too tired to cry.
I'm useless on the next day, trying to make it in a new way. Parties make me feel like a fool, and the silliest things just make me lose my cool. Sometimes it's so hard to be kind and not cruel. But don't worry, I'm gonna learn how to hold my tongue. But if you see me spreading like a virus, cycles of pain, I am calloused, I am heartless, I am cruel and inhumane. 'Cause I'm just to cry, 'cause I'm just too tired to cry, 'cause I'm just too tired to cry, 'cause I'm just too tired, 'cause I'm just too tired to cry. I'll bet all those guys right up top are too tired to cry, 'cause I'm just too tired, 'cause I'm just too tired to cry, 'cause I'm just too tired to cry, 'cause I'm just too tired. Thank you guys so much. I know how tired we all are, but it's not over, and it's okay to cry a little bit. Get it out. Fight the next day. To cry. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rick Hodge. I am a candidate for the Pennsylvania State House in District 99 in Lancaster County, about an hour west of Philadelphia. Thank you guys for having me. I'd like to start by thanking Bernie. In the area I grew up in and am running in, it's deep red and very conservative. It's a white middle-class district, working-class district that's been abandoned by most major parties. That said, in this area, I became disaffected. In 2016, in the midst of some personal turmoil, Bernie came along and really inspired me. It led me to get involved with my community, get involved in local politics, go to college, and change my life around. That said, I'd like to also thank him for inspiring me and millions of others because he centered his politics around compassion and justice and caring. He put policy before personal ambition. That said, we're running in a deep red conservative district, and it's crucial that we reach out to as many voters as we can with a progressive agenda. If our work here doesn't continue and isn't as effective as possible, the likes of Donald Trump and Congressman Lloyd Smucker will reach out to the voters. That said, as progressives, we're all in this together. We all must support each other from Maine to California. To help us, please go to our Facebook page, Rick Hodge for PA House. Like the page, interact, and also sign up for emails. It's important that we all stick together. We know the tremendous forces we face in trying to change this country. Thank you guys so much for having me. I appreciate the opportunity, and I look forward to changing this country with all of you. Thank you.
That was Rick Hodge, and he is running for Pennsylvania House. You can go to facebook.com/hodgeforhouse to find out more information.
The vibe never feels right when your head rests in your hand. The pressure building deep inside, no one understands. Why does the green come between the life I thought I'd lead? 18 years, no fear. You walked right in, that's when it started to begin. Conversion. They say it takes 3 weeks to form a habit. Well, what about 3 years? All this time spent running in circles I can't break, despite my fears. Why does the green come between the life I thought I'd lead? 18 years, no fear. You walked right in, that's when it started to begin. Conversion. Disease of mystery, tangled up in history. Never be the
That was the music video for Miss Christine's song Conversion. They are based in Iowa City, Iowa. Up next is the music video for Come On by Chris Summers, based in Boston, Massachusetts.
Your citrus smile while waiting for the end of time. Say I could be your man. Life is short, it's time to dance. I don't know what I've been told. People don't know where to go. Say I am, today I am, and that's your call to understand. Come on. out of sight, looking for some peace of mind. Beaten up, broken down. Don't you hate this part of town? Console your soul, raise your head. Undertow of feeling stripped. Come on. Come on. Come on. You can see the light that shines inside. Don't hide. Come on. Come on. You can see the light that shines inside. Don't hide. This time it's right. Come on. I can see the light. I can see it. Understand. I can see the light. I can see it. You can see the light that shines inside. Don't hide. So come on. Come on. You can see the light that shines inside. Don't hide. So come on. Come on. You can see the light that shines inside. Don't hide. This time it's right. Come on.
These are hard times for everyone. We are afraid for our children, our elders, and ourselves. But if this time can teach us anything, it's that everyone counts. Every nurse and every doctor, every driver and every clerk, every parent and every child. Everyone counts. And if we stand up and take care of each other, we can build a brighter future together. I'm Kimberly Graham, and I approve this message.
Up next is the music video for Ames, Iowa shoegaze band Liana's song, The Silver Key.
There's a glimmer, something bright, something In the garden, there's a tree, there's a moth now I didn't see. Silver turning, perfect fit, ears are ringing, eyes are red, nothing opens. Where's the door? Just a garden
As you all know, we have never been just a campaign. We are a grassroots, multiracial, multi-generational movement which has always believed that real change never comes from the top on down, but always from the bottom on up. We have taken on the greed of the entire corporate elite. That struggle continues. While this campaign is coming to an end, our movement is not. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. reminded us that the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. As I hope all of you know, this race has never been about me. I ran for the presidency because I believe that as a president, I could accelerate and institutionalize the progressive changes that we are all building together. And if we keep organizing and fighting, I have no doubt but that is exactly what will happen. We often hear about the beauty of America, and this country is incredibly beautiful. But to me, the beauty I will remember most is in the faces of the people we have met from one corner of this nation to the other. The compassion, love, and decency I have seen in them makes me so hopeful for our future. It also makes me more determined than ever to work to create a nation that reflects those values and lifts up all of our people. Please stay in this fight with me. Let us go forward together. The struggle continues.
Thank you so much for tuning in and watching the Musicians for Bernie livestream concert. Special thanks to Naughty Clouds, Diving Station 95, Lavender Blue, and To Be Frank for playing this evening. We would also like to thank Russ Cirencioni, Kimberly Graham, Nellie Torres, Brian Abrahamson, and Rick Hodge for speaking. They are running as down-ballot progressive candidates across the country, and you can find out more information on how to volunteer and donate to their campaigns at musiciansforbernie.com/donate. If you would like to be considered to play in the next Musicians for Bernie concert or submit a music video, go to our website, musiciansforbernie.com, and fill out the sign-up form. Thank you so much.